to our film as well. So you meet the main characters in the hospital. So the majority of 5 Feet Apart takes place in a hospital.
Blake Lively is reportedly under growing pressure as her legal battle with Justin Baldoni continues to unfold in an increasingly public and high-stakes manner, with early signs of confidence on her side now giving way to a far more uncertain reality. What may have initially appeared to be a turning point in her favor has instead shifted dramatically, as Baldoni's legal team, led by Brian Friedman, has taken an aggressive approach that challenges not only her legal claims, but also the public narrative surrounding the dispute. Rather than winding down, the situation has escalated into a complex and closely watched case, with developments suggesting that key claims may be reconsidered and new legal strategies emerging as deadlines approach. While Lively's team has attempted to maintain a composed front, indicating that they can proceed without certain motions, the direction of the case appears to be evolving in unexpected ways, placing her in a position where previously private details could potentially be brought into the spotlight. At the center of the dispute is a reported $400 million defamation lawsuit filed by Baldoni, who alleges that a coordinated effort was made to damage his reputation and career, framing the case as something far more significant than a disagreement stemming from their work on It Ends With Us. His legal team argues that the situation involves broader issues of professional harm and public perception within the entertainment industry, where reputation directly impacts financial opportunities and long-term success. Meanwhile, scrutiny has intensified around the contrast between Lively's public persona, often portrayed as confident and light-hearted in media appearances, and the more serious claims presented in legal filings, a discrepancy that Baldoni's side is using to question the consistency of her position. Media coverage, which may have initially leaned toward early assumptions, is now becoming more measured, focusing on verification and multiple perspectives as both sides present conflicting accounts. Lively's team continues to defend her claims and push back against allegations, at times characterizing opposing actions as publicity-driven, while Baldoni's legal representatives assert that their arguments are supported by evidence, including accounts from individuals involved in the film's production. Among these is an intimacy coordinator who has reportedly described a level of professional trust during parts of filming, a detail being used to suggest that the working environment may have been more nuanced than initially portrayed. As the case develops, it remains a contested and evolving legal battle, with both sides advancing their narratives and the outcome still far from determined. The situation surrounding Blake Lively continues to draw attention as conflicting narratives shape public perception, with observers noting a striking back and forth in how she is portrayed, appearing carefree and unbothered in public settings like red carpets, television appearances, and social media moments, while at other times being described as emotionally burdened and deeply affected, even framing her actions as part of a larger effort to speak on behalf of others. This contrast has become a focal point in the ongoing legal dispute with Justin Baldoni, as his legal team works to highlight what they describe as inconsistencies in the broader narrative. Adding further complexity are comments attributed to individuals involved in the production of It Ends With Us, including actor Adam Monshine, who has reportedly suggested that certain on-set interactions were characterized differently in legal filings compared to his own experience. Baldoni's legal representatives are presenting such perspectives to argue that multiple viewpoints should be considered when assessing what actually occurred, while Lively's team continues to dispute these interpretations and stand by their claims. An intimacy coordinator connected to the film has also reportedly weighed in, describing a level of professional trust during parts of the production, which Baldoni's side uses to support the idea that the working environment may not align with a singular negative portrayal. Another widely discussed element of the dispute involves allegations concerning Ryan Reynolds, with claims raised in legal filings suggesting he may have had some level of involvement in broader industry tensions related to Baldoni. According to Baldoni's legal team, this could include influence over professional relationships and even agency-level decisions, such as those involving WME, though these assertions remain contested and have not been accepted by Lively and Reynolds' side. As with many aspects of the case, these claims exist within an ongoing legal process, and will ultimately depend on what evidence is presented and upheld in court. The filings from Baldoni's side frame the dispute as extending beyond a typical production disagreement, instead positioning it as part of a larger conversation about influence, reputation, and power dynamics within the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, Lively's team rejects this framing and maintains that their account reflects the reality of events, underscoring the deeply contested nature of the case. Financially, the stakes are described as extremely high, with Baldoni seeking $400 million in damages tied to alleged reputational harm, lost opportunities, and stalled career prospects, emphasizing how closely public image and earning potential are linked in Hollywood. While parts of the initial complaint have faced legal hurdles, the court has allowed for revisions, meaning Baldoni's legal team is preparing an amended filing as the case continues to evolve. This procedural development ensures that the dispute is far from resolved, with further arguments, evidence, and legal strategies expected to emerge. Overall, the case has developed into a complex and highly public legal battle, marked by competing claims, differing accounts from those involved, and broader questions about credibility, influence, and accountability. Issues that will ultimately be decided through the legal process rather than public speculation. The legal dispute between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni continues against Lively, a move his attorney Brian Friedman suggests will introduce additional evidence and further clarify their position. A key point raised by Baldoni's defense is the timing of Lively's allegations, which they argue became public during a period when it ends. With Us was reportedly dealing with creative and logistical challenges. From their perspective, this timing may provide important context to the broader conflict, and could suggest a shift in how responsibility for those difficulties was perceived. However, Lively's legal team firmly rejects this interpretation, maintaining that her claims are based on separate and serious concerns unrelated to any production issues, reinforcing that the case centers on matters they view as independent of behind-the-scenes pressures. As both sides continue to present their arguments, the courtroom remains a space of constant back and forth, where each new filing or piece of evidence can quickly shift momentum, and attorneys on both sides actively challenge one another through objections and counter-arguments in line with standard legal procedure. At the same time, the case highlights the difference between public perception and legal standards, as outside commentary and speculation through media and online discussions do not determine the outcome of the proceedings. While some opinions frame the situation in highly charged or personal terms, the court's role is to evaluate verifiable evidence and apply legal principles rather than respond to public narratives. Recent media coverage has begun to reflect a more cautious tone, with outlets emphasizing that the case is still ongoing, that multiple claims and counterclaims remain unresolved, and that no definitive conclusions have been reached. Instead of portraying developments as clear wins or losses for either side, reporting increasingly focuses on the procedural reality that further filings, amended complaints, and courtroom arguments are still to come. Ultimately, despite shifting narratives and intense scrutiny, the resolution of the dispute will depend on what can be substantiated in court, not on evolving public opinion or speculation about motives or character. The broader ripple effects of the legal dispute between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have extended beyond the immediate parties, drawing attention to individuals within their professional and social circles as public interest in the case continues to grow. Some people mentioned in online discussions and media commentary have faced increased scrutiny simply due to their associations, although the extent of their involvement is often unclear and in many cases based more on speculation than verified information. As coverage expands, the situation has increasingly been framed within larger cultural conversations about influence, reputation, and power dynamics in the entertainment industry. Yet at its core, it remains a legal matter between the primary parties, with any wider interpretations still being subjective rather than established fact. Reports circulating online have also referenced peripheral figures, such as Blake Lively's sister, Robin Lively, in connection with unrelated